Lynn is an international political and strategic consultant. She joins me now. You spend most of your life polling and doing focus groups. You have done that in the run-up to this election. We talked back in September and indeed in April. What we are seeing tonight in these exit projections reflective of what you learned during this campaign?
It reflects the polling that we saw towards the very end of this campaign. What's interesting is that from September through to the end, almost the end, the polls were quite stable. Most of them had blue and white just slightly ahead. Sometimes Likud pulled a little bit ahead. And it showed these blocks also very stable, very closely tied. Occasionally, either Netanyahu's right-wing bloc or the other one would reach into the upper 50s. Nobody got 61, except for one poll out of like 70. So this is a little bit unusual, but by the end, we saw the change happening for Likud.
Yeah, and why? What changed right at the end?
Well, I think the really important question is what didn't change in the middle. Because in the middle, Netanyahu did all sorts of headline-worthy things. He went to the White House and announced the Trump plan together with President Trump. The numbers didn't move. He went to Uganda. He opened talks with Sudan. Nothing moved. He did all sorts of things that didn't move the polls. But at the very end, he did a very aggressive field get-out-the-vote campaign. What I mean by that is that he was very much in people's lives, in homes, in towns, in marketplaces. He himself went around the country as aggressively as possible, which is his forte. He is a great campaigner, and his big message was simply get out the vote. I mean, he had campaign messages, but the big point that he was making more than any of those other policy issues was you didn't vote enough last time. Go out to vote this time.
And we have seen voter turnout at a 20-year high. We haven't seen these numbers since 1999. That seems as if it's benefited Benjamin Netanyahu. It also looks as if it may have benefited the joint list, which is the bloc, the party, the
party coalition of four different parties.
Thank you. That most Arab citizens of Israel vote for. What will tonight's result, should it be as we are seeing through these projections, mean for the Arab citizens of Israel?
It seems that they are becoming more aware of their power to influence the Israeli political system. They were watching closely when they managed to gain 3 seats between April and September, from 10 seats to 13 seats, simply by higher turnout. And that was, I think, empowering and exciting for them. And it also was a learning moment for the leaders of the joint list who realized that if they put more and more effort into turnout, there is a response on the part of the people.
How do they leverage that in daily politics going forward?
That's an open question. I mean, given the results, it looks like Netanyahu and the right-wing bloc are in a much better position to form the next government, which means they probably won't have any real leverage in the negotiating process, unless something changes. But they will, as they have been, they are the third biggest party in Israel, which means they do have a sort of political clout. Again, if they're not going to be part of the negotiations, we're not sure what it means. If there is a unity coalition, by chance, which, again, looks less likely now, but if there had been a coalition between Likud and Blue and White, they would have been head of the opposition.
Israel's right wing is claiming victory after early exit polls showed them winning a majority in parliament. We'll